Welcome to the Sharing Without Shame podcast, dedicated to parents and anyone else who loves someone in active addiction. Education is a powerful tool in breaking down stigma, fostering understanding, and ultimately helping individuals and their loved ones navigate the challenges of addiction. With Donna Marston, author of Peeling the Onion and Sharing Without Shame. So take a deep breath and grab some tissues as we uncover the stories of love, courage, and unwavering support in the face of adversity, as Donna and her guests share their stories without shame. Because when we share our stories without shame, we inspire others to do the same.
Hello, and welcome to the Sharing Without Shame podcast. I'm your host, Donna Marston, and today's podcast is sponsored by Snappbandz. If you're feeling overwhelmed by negative thoughts, Snappbandz offers stylish bracelets. Here's my bracelet. Whoops, I turned around. Sorry. There's my bracelet. That stylish bracelets that combat negativity while embracing inner peace with a simple snap. Shift your focus and take control of your mindset. So today, I would like to welcome Michael Bloom, who is the founder of Snappbandz. Here's a better view of my band.
Hello, Donna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's so great to see your smiling face. And you have your Snappbandz. I have mine.
I wear it every day.
Well, I wear mine every day, and I use it every day, and it really brings a lot of comfort. And mine says fearless. So
Awesome.
I try to be fearless every day.
There you go. So, first question. What would you like to share with this audience without shame?
Well, that's fantastic. Well, first, Donna, thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor to be here, and it's an honor to know you. Definitely. So I guess the first thing I'd like to share without shame is that I am just a regular person, father, a husband, a son, a brother. I'm hardworking. I try to take care of my family as best I can. But I just realized that there is so much that you go through in the course of a day. Life is very hard and life is very stressful. Just whether it's, stress and anxiety from work or from school or from having relationships or finances, violence, from addiction, from recovery, even just watching the news on TV is very stressful, causes a lot of anxiety. And I guess I'd like to share without shame that I find life can be very, very stressful, and it causes a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, and a lot of fear. And just, there are times when you feel alone and you're the only person dealing with this. But I'd also like to share without shame that you are not alone, and everybody is going through the same thing. We are all in this boat together.
Isn't it amazing?
That's what I'd like to share. Yeah.
Even people you think like, oh, they have it together. Everybody has their isms or their issues or whatever.
Everybody every day. And just in the course of a day, you go through so many experiences, so many things coming at you. Some thoughts that you have are good, positive thoughts, and some thoughts are very worrisome and very nerve-wracking, cause a lot of anxiety. And sometimes you can't actually control the thoughts that are coming into your head. Thoughts just pop into your head in the course of a day, and they could really bring you down, almost paralyze you, and they stop you from doing the things you want to do. They stop you from feeling good. They stop you from feeling confident, and they make it sometimes very challenging just to get through the day. And I am not ashamed to say it, because we all go through it. It seems like that's the world we live in today.
Yeah. I have Donna Downer who shows up.
Donna Downer. Oh, my.
Donna Downer. I have to tell her, I'm not listening to you today. So my next question is, how did the staggering statistics of over 40 million Americans diagnosed with anxiety inspire you to take action and make a difference?
I I have to tell you, it is, think back, right now it's 2024, think back just before COVID, back in 2019. I'm just living my life going through, and I just realized, it's not easy. It is every day. There's just things that are good, things that are bad. Every day, just so many challenges. Life is not easy. Then I start realizing, well, this is a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and you start to feel alone. And then I read from the leading mental health organizations in America. I read that there are 40 million Americans that are diagnosed with anxiety.
Wow.
40 million.
Yeah.
And I realized, number one, that all the things, and I have to say, it just progressed even more during COVID. It's just like think back on what we all went through. And I realized that, number one, I am not alone. Feelings that I have are feelings that everybody is going through right now. And when I saw that number, 40 million, it jumped out to me that, well, I want to do something to help. I have to do something to help. It's not just a small issue. This is this is a national crisis. This is an epidemic. This is a catastrophic situation. The world of that we're all living through and dealing with mental health and lots of anxiety in a very scary world. And I saw that number and I said, I want to do something to help. So that's it.
Good for
It's that
you.
simple.
Yeah, because not only did adults go through it, but it trickled down to school-age
Oh,
children.
it's
They were so
there's
affected by all of this. And the cool thing about this is, a teenager would wear this bracelet,
right,
right?
right.
Because it's cool. They come in all different colors and they have all different sayings, and you can do it according to what your preferences are.
Yeah.
But I
But
just love the
you're
fact that it's for any age group.
any age. You are so right. Sometimes you think that anxiety and worry and fear only affects adults, but it's
Mm-mm,
not true. It
not
affects
anymore.
everybody. If you are a human being, regardless of age, your gender, where you come from, whether you have a lot or have a little, it doesn't matter. I always say anxiety does not discriminate. It's everybody. And
Right.
a lot of times, just like you're saying, Donna, you think, if you're a child in school, you think, what do you have to worry about? It's not true. Even if you are just a young child in school, there is a world of things that you're worried about. And
Sure.
and as you get older, it's just endless. And
Mhm.
sometimes you think it's going to go away. I don't know. I've come to the conclusion it's just not going to go away. It's
Right.
just, if this is what it is, you have to just deal with it and address it every day. And it's everybody. So no, you're so right.
And I think it's really cool because, young children that go to school because their parents are in active addiction, or parents have some mental health, or they just it's single parent household, or they don't have a lot of means
Yeah,
financially,
right.
and some children go to school and that's their only meal.
Oh,
Having something like
heartbreaking.
this
Yeah.
could help them get through the day. Or the
Oh,
kid that goes to school that hasn't had a shower. I know the local school here had some children like that over the years, and they used to have them come in before school started so they could take a shower before
oh,
the other kids showed up.
it's just
So, they
heartbreaking.
wouldn't
It
get made fun
really,
of.
no, it's very emotional. And my heart just goes out when you hear something like that. And for that child who is going to school to take a shower and have a meal, or for anybody really, thoughts pop into your head, deep thoughts that say, I am not good enough. I am not worthy. I don't deserve for good things to happen to me. Bad things just follow me everywhere. It's like a
Mhm.
dark cloud forms over your head, and it
Mhm.
makes it very difficult. And then there's another part of it, and this is part of the challenge that we all face in America, is that if there are those feelings that you have inside, and anxiety and worry and the feelings that I'm not good enough or bad things are going to happen to me, there is also something that is just as bad as the feeling itself. It's the concept that there is a stigma
Mm.
associated with it. It's that if I am having these types of thoughts in my head, or if I have certain challenges, mental health challenges like anxiety, I can't share it with anybody. I can't talk about it. I can't tell anybody. I kind of have to hide it and keep it
Yeah.
to myself.
Yeah.
And that that burden is as painful as the anxiety or the challenge itself. Is the
Yeah.
fact that it makes you feel alone, it makes you feel different, it makes you feel that nobody understands you, it makes it difficult for you to connect with others. And that's part of the mental health crisis that we're all
Mhm.
living through right now, is the
Yeah.
mental health issues and the stigma that comes along with it.
That creates shame.
Well, you said it best. Stigma is the shame. So
Mhm.
when we first started talking about sharing without shame, stigma and shame, that's it. That it goes hand in hand. And so we have to address not just the mental health issues of addiction and recovery and anxiety, but we also have to address overcoming the shame,
Yeah.
that guilt, that fear of sharing, the fear of letting another person know what you are struggling with, letting another person know what your truth actually is. That is the shame. That is the stigma. And we're always trying to come up with ways to overcome not just the mental health challenge that you're going through, but also how to overcome the shame and the stigma.
So, what social needs does Snappbandz address, particularly realms of mental health, addiction, behavioral modification, and goal setting?
That's a great question. So there is a concept of something called cognitive behavioral therapy. And this is a leading understanding of mental health. Is comes down to cognitive behavioral therapy, something called CBT. And what that says is that there is a direct relationship between, for any human being, direct relationship between your thoughts and your feelings and your behaviors. So if you have certain thoughts in your head, that's going to lead to certain feelings that will lead to certain behaviors. And in order to have the kind of behaviors that you would like to have, as far as your goals and your objectives, as far as your behavior, the way to help create those behaviors is to look at the underlying thoughts and feelings. And that's really the root of the challenge that we're trying to solve, is how do you help to change habits, change behaviors, adjust behaviors, get rid of bad habits, and start with new behaviors. How do you do that? And
Mhm.
that's part of the challenge that we are all working to overcome.
And so that's called snap therapy. Is that correct?
That is called snap therapy. And
Which
really,
is,
this we'll get into it, but this small bracelet here, this Snappbandz bracelet, is a cognitive behavioral therapy tool that you take with you all the time, 24/7. You can have it with you all the time. And it's almost like a comfort, almost like a security blanket that is going to be with you all the time, and it's going to help you address your thoughts and your feelings and actually modify your behaviors and feel really good about it and feel really confident. And that's the goal we're all looking for, right?
so when you talk about modifying behaviors, one of the thoughts just came through my head that this could possibly help somebody who's in recovery from addiction. Like it could be a substance, drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
It could be food. And this
right?
could possibly just snapping, if they have a craving, that they snap it to help them work through the craving as well. Is
My
that
gosh,
correct?
you just said it so well. First off, you are correct. As far as addictions, there are so many kinds of addictions, and you named some. There are, food addictions, chemical addictions, alcohol addictions. The smoking is an addiction, but also things like gambling, shopping, cravings. There are other types of mental health challenges like OCD, where you have compulsions. You just feel like something. And really the root of this is that you just many thoughts are just popping into your head all the time. And not all of them are positive thoughts. There are underlying many addictions. There are thoughts and feelings which are leading to certain behaviors. And one of the things you try to strive to do is when you have negative thoughts and feelings that are going to lead to behaviors that you do not want to have, the concept is to um, understand, number one, that you are having that kind of a thought. Just literally identify the kind of a thought that could ultimately lead to a negative behavior. And at the same time, have a vision, have an understanding, have a hope, a belief that there is something better. There is a brighter day ahead. You have your own personal goals and aspirations and dreams for you and for your family. And the concept, the big concept here is to take, whenever you have that negative thought that's going to bring you down and take you to a dark place, identify that you have that thought, and then try to disrupt that thought and replace that thought with a positive thought that's going to keep you focused and get you right back on track with achieving your goals and your personal objectives and your dreams. And that is literally the underlying concept of Snappbandz, is identifying when you have a negative thought and then literally disrupting that negative thought and then replacing it with a positive, productive thought that keeps you in focus, on track to achieve your goals. And that's all of the things. I don't mean to get too scientific with it, but there is a lot going on behind this. There's a lot of science that goes on behind this very simple bracelet here. But that's I hope I didn't get too
No, not
too
at all.
neuroscience nerd kind of thing, but that there is a lot of the science behind it.
Well, and I think that's really important because I mean it hits a pressure point, right?
Yes.
And
So
that's the key
here's
to
the thing.
this.
It turns out right here on your inner wrist is a pressure point. It's actually a pressure point number 6 in your body. And this pressure point is directly connected through your nerves and through your nervous system, directly connected with your brain. Now, here's the interesting part, Donna. You asked me a couple of questions, so I'm going to ask you a question
Uh-oh.
as well. Did you know that the human brain can only handle one crisis or one emergency at a time? There is so many things going on, but the human brain can
Hmm.
only process one crisis at a time. So what this means is, if you are in a situation and let's say you're sitting at a table reading a newspaper, okay, and then all of a sudden, God forbid, the house catches on fire. All of a sudden, your brain says, fire, fire in the house, get out. That's it. It no longer is thinking about reading the newspaper, because the human brain can process one crisis or one emergency at a time. And this is actually the single most important concept for Snappbandz, because what it means is that When you have a negative thought that takes you to a dark place and stops you from feeling good and stops you from living your best life, when you have that negative thought, the idea behind Snappbandz is, number one, identify that thought, and number two, on this bracelet, right on this underside, there's a little elastic section right here. You give that elastic section a very gentle snap, just enough to feel it. There is never any pain, never anything pinching, no harm. No, it is not about the pain. The concept here is it is a very gentle physical sensation right on that pressure point. And what ends up happening is that because the human brain can only process one crisis or one emergency at a time, they're running on those neurons and through your nervous system. When you give that little elastic piece a gentle vibration on your inner wrist, it sends a signal to your brain that says, wait, there's a physical sensation on my inner wrist. And your brain is forced to think about that physical sensation on your inner wrist, and it disrupts that negative thought that was running through your head. It literally disrupts it and interrupts it from happening, because you've given your brain something else that it must focus on. This becomes the new thing that your brain must focus on. It literally disrupts that. And now you have that moment. The moment you do that, you have that moment to breathe. And in that moment, that negative thought is now disrupted. In that moment to breathe, you then take a look at your bracelet and you take a look at the word on your bracelet. And you can choose, we have a number of words. You choose the word that really resonates with you. So for me, my word is the word fearless. So now when you have that moment to breathe right after you snap, I say to myself, I say, I am fearless. I am fearless. And what ends up happening is that process of saying, I am fearless, it literally resets your brain. And now, in just one moment's time, you have taken a negative thought that was in your head, and you have literally disrupted it and replaced it with a very positive, productive thought like, I am fearless, or I have hope, or I love myself, or I believe in myself. These are all words: fearless and love and believe and hope and peace. These are all words that you can have on your bracelet, and they just reinforce that positive, productive thought in your head. And then within moments, you have moved from a situation where you are having negative, recurring, intrusive thoughts that take you to a dark place. And in just a moment, you have reset, and now you are focusing your mind on something positive, productive, like achieving your goals and achieving your dreams and achieving your objectives, and getting in your mind the positive things that you want to be accomplishing. That's the science behind Snappbandz, the neuroscience of how the brain actually works. And that's actually what's going on behind this very simple elastic snap on your inner wrist.
So it gets me thinking, when I was dealing with my son's active addiction many, many, many years ago, and I was in the fetal position in bed for 6 months when nobody was around. I would die from my bed, and beating myself up, with the would-haves, could-haves, should-haves. Did I love him differently than his brother? Was I a good enough mom? It must be my fault. I'm the mother. And I believe this bracelet could have made a huge difference. And it's interesting that when I was ordering this, I wanted, and I had asked you if you could change the
Yeah.
word to blessed,
Yes.
because I was thinking, how blessed am I? Because my son is sober. He's in recovery for, I
Yeah.
think it's coming on 16 years
Oh,
in
God
May.
bless. God bless.
And, there's all these blessings that have happened,
Yeah.
or, just that I was blessed. But anyway, so I got the word blessing because it couldn't be changed. What I loved about it, because I never thought of myself as a blessing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And when I received this, there's a little cardboard card inside the packaging with the bracelet, and it explains blessing. And one of the first things that I just
Yes.
remember, like, kind of taking a breath or taking me back, like it
Wow.
said, I am a blessing. And I
Oh,
never thought of myself that way. And
wow.
and
Wow.
that makes me cry.
It's, oh my God, I'm right there with you. I'm right
Yeah,
there with you, Donna.
it was very touching, because I think a lot of us are like that. Whether you come from, horrific family dynamics or loving family dynamics, we all
Yeah.
have our stuff. But it was just very touching for me, and it's extra special
Oh my gosh.
now, because again, I didn't know what I was getting, and when I got it, when I
It,
received the bracelet with the
oh,
card, and I keep the card upstairs because I love it.
oh,
I received a gift, and
oh
I
my,
thank you for that.
you just touching my heart. I just, it's so emotional, everything you're describing, because it is true. Not only, Donna, are you blessed, but you are a blessing.
And I wish I
Because look,
knew that when I was going through it, because maybe this would have got me out of bed earlier.
oh my gosh,
You know,
you touch for, I mean, we talk about it all the time. You are such a blessing for your family, for every person you touch. You are really an angel. You're an angel on earth. Think of you touch so many people in such a deep, emotional way, in such a positive way. I could say that myself. I can say it myself. When we speak, you touch me in such a, in such a strong emotional way. I got to share a story with you, and it's emotional too. We deal with so many people. We help so many people. We try, and we always get letters back from people that, we're helping with bracelets, and we get a letter back from a woman, a mother, that her son is going through addiction, and she feels like so many of the emotions that you were describing just now. Feeling the guilt. What did I do? What could I have done? Should I have been better at this? Could I have done something different or whatever? And she thought that this is a bracelet that could help her son
Ah,
as he's going through his recovery. This could
yeah,
give him the strength and give him
yeah.
the courage. And we go back and forth. We're speaking, and from our conversation, one additional idea came out, was that not only she loves her son so much, it's like her son is her world, and
Yeah.
she thought it would be just such a wonderful gift, the ultimate gift that she could give to her son. But I thought of another thing, is that not only would this help her son, but I saw she was dealing with so much worry and guilt and shame and fear and anxiety herself. And not only would this be something, this Snappbandz bracelet, that would help her son, it's also something that would help her.
Hmm.
So what we did is we worked out and made, for her and her son, we made matching bracelets,
Oh, awesome.
and they both wear the same bracelet with different, just different size. It's both the same color, the same word that's on the bracelet. And what it means is that when each one is wearing the bracelet, not only is it helping them to overcome the negative thoughts and stay focused on the positives, but there's another thing that's happening here, which is every time they wear it, they feel the connection
Mm-hmm.
between the mother and her son, and the son and his mother, and they know they are not alone. They are
Yeah.
not going through the addiction or the recovery alone. They are there for each other, and extra that extra feeling, it's almost you literally feel the love, and that extra feeling gives you that little extra energy, that little extra, karma, and that
Mm-hmm.
cosmic feeling, and it helps you get through. And it's something that I thought was so special, that
Sure.
connection, and that shared feeling of love, that and more important than anything, it's you're not alone. um
Mm-hmm.
that you
Mm-hmm.
you have people that love you, and your family and your community, and people love you, and they want to help you, and they want good things to happen, for
Yeah,
you.
because with addiction or any other type of mental health, it's usually about disconnection, right? People are
It is.
disconnected emotionally, and the key to recovery is connection. So
Yeah.
by having these connect, which is such a cool concept, because with the parents, I used to tell them, do like I used to call it love codes that you send if you're thinking of your child, because some people can't have their kids in their lives
Yeah.
at certain times, but you send a love code, whether it's a heart that just says I love you, which so it on the same idea, right? But this is something
Yeah.
that they can physically have and hold, which is really
And hold,
special.
and it's a special bond that it can form, and it could be mother and child, could be partners, it could be friends. It's just showing a connection. We actually, it's funny, we work with so many schools and charitable organizations in the community, and communities all across the country. And what we see, and believe it or not, we work with a lot of sports teams and clubs and schools, and we will see, not just a connection between, two individuals. We will see an entire organization, or we will see, an entire team all wearing a matching bracelet. And it is we work closely with a running group, and we see that they all wear their matching bracelets when they run together, and it's amazing. It really gives everybody not just that individual motivation, but it's like that team bonding, and it's just sharing, and you're part of a community. You're not alone. We understand what you're going through, and we are here to support each other.
Yeah, and
And
that solidarity.
that's it. And it is just as special as your pockets here. You've brought together just so many people in the Sharing Without Shame community. And if as important as anything else, everybody knows that we understand each other, and you're not alone. And that is one of the most important emotions that you can have in life. You said, just like you said, it's all about connection. And in any small way, if you can feel a connection to another human being, group, or community, that connection is like the force that can lift you up through anything.
Yeah. So could you elaborate on Snapband's commitment to its mission to combat the stigma while promoting
Yeah.
kindness and empathy in the world?
Oh my gosh. So our mission statement is to help everybody, help as many people as we can reduce anxiety, calm their stress, and do all of this, stay focused, do all of this while snapping out the stigma. That's our mantra word: snap out the stigma. So here's the other piece about the Snappbandz bracelet, and we worked very carefully when we were designing this, is that if you look at it, wow, it looks just like jewelry, like a
Hmm.
bracelet that you wear. If you walk around, you could have it with other bracelets on your wrist. You can have it, you can have it in multiple colors so it matches outfits. It's really a very stylish, fashionable looking bracelet, but we designed it very carefully so that on the top, it's the stylish looking design, but underneath you have this almost like a hidden function that only you realize that it's there. Nobody really sees it. That is a unique design that is important for this reason, that I could be speaking with you in the middle of a crowded theater. We could be speaking in the supermarket in the middle of a very crowded area. And while we are speaking, or while you're in public, in the middle of all that, if you have a negative thought, you could just very quietly and discreetly, nobody sees it. Nobody sees that you're doing that. That it's very quiet and it's very discreet. What that means is that you could be in public and just quietly just do that in the middle of a very crowded area. And the reason that's important, because there's no stigma. It means that you can help yourself stay focused, keep your mental outlook positive, overcome anxieties and worries and fears and OCD compulsions, and do all of that in public or in private, wherever you like, and nobody even sees or worries about it. It is just something very private, very personal, very quiet, and very discreet. And as a result, there is no shame. There is no stigma. And we all know what happens with that shame and the stigma. When when you feel it, you really want to disconnect from other people. You don't want people to see what you're going through. You can't, express yourself. You can't live your normal life. You kind of recoil. And, we know folks that they don't want to leave their house. You said, it's just, sometimes it's hard to get out of bed in the morning. I mean, if you're feeling that way, it's going to be very difficult to go out in public, to go out to, live your normal life. So we designed this very carefully so that it's a stigma-free experience and nobody knows. And that's really the extra feature that makes this so unique. And we hear it every day from so many people that it just helps them do the things that we even just in a completely different kind of story. We help a lot of athletes. So we have a mother that purchased it for her son, who's a pitcher on a baseball team. And she was telling us that when her son pitches for the team before the game and during the game, he is so overcome with fear and anxiety that he's just not able to enjoy pitching. So she went and she got for him a Snappbandz bracelet. And on his, I recall it said the word peace. It said the word peace on his. And now when he is actually pitching in a baseball game, he's on the pitcher's mound during the game, and he is quietly and discreetly just overcoming his anxieties and using his Snappbandz during the game itself, because it gives him so much comfort and reassurance and really helps him focus and regain his confidence. And now he tells us he is enjoying playing baseball again.
Yeah.
And it's like you hear a story like that and it really is touching. It's just because of that simple, and nobody sees. He's on the pitcher's mound in front of a stadium and nobody even notices he's doing it because it's so discreet.
Right.
So that's kind of the approach that we wanted to achieve.
Awesome. So how does, anybody that clubs, communities, schools, anybody that wants a Snappband, how do they get in touch with you?
Get in touch. Well, thank you for asking. And It's pretty simple. We have a website. It is www.snappbandz.com. And we have an interesting way that we spell Snappbandz. It's Snappbandz. So it's Snappbandz. So it's two P's and one Z at the end. And anyone can just check out www.snappbandz.com, and on there you'll see all varieties of different kinds of bracelets, different mantra words, different colors, different sizes. Also, we talk about the science behind Snappbandz, why it works, and we have hundreds and hundreds of testimonials from so many people, and we show different teams that are just a whole bunch of things. But there's also one thing right at the towards the back of the website. You will see a page that'll say contact us. And if you are a special group or an organization or a community, or you are an individual, you just have any questions, just fill out and ask a question, and one of our great team will be back in touch with you almost immediately.
Yeah.
It's always amazing how fast, and that's one of our goals. Is we know when everybody, dealing with life and going through things, we want to be there for you. We always want to be right there for you. And if nothing else, you'll just know you're not alone and that we understand and we appreciate you. But that's the way to get in touch. And we'll do anything to help you. Not really. We just, that is our mission. We will do anything to help you and make you realize that you're not alone and that you can do things to help yourself overcome anxiety and work your way through difficult things. We are really, we're all in this together, and we're trying to do difficult things and help each other through some very difficult moments. And that it's the most rewarding feeling in the world to do that.
The other great thing that you do that you haven't mentioned, and before we wrap up, I just want to make sure this gets stated, that a portion of all the proceeds of a piece of each purchase goes to mental health
organizations. You are right again. You are right again, Donna. That is part of our mission, that we are all in this together, and we are all working to help as many people that we can. And so a portion of every bracelet that you get, we are donating a portion. This has been from day one. This is the reason we are here. A portion of every bracelet we are donating to leading mental health organizations and organizations that are doing such wonderful things, helping so many people. And I will say, Donna, just like Sharing Without Shame, you are such a wonderful person, Donna, and you do so much good to help so many people. So I am very proud to say that we are sponsors of Sharing Without Shame. And that means that any bracelet that you get from Snappbandz, we will be able to identify that you are part of Donna's family. It's part of the Sharing Without Shame community. The way you do that is when you are placing your order, there's going to be a special instructions comments field right in the order form. And all you do is you write 4 words, Sharing Without Shame, or you write 4 letters, SWOS. You put it right in the comments field, and we will see it on the order. And when we do, you will be making a difference yourself, because 20% of that order, of your order, is going right to Donna. And
to the podcast to keep it going.
To keep it going and helping Donna to do the magic that she does and do all the wonderful things. So when you are able to order a bracelet for yourself, for your family, for someone you love, or somebody you care about, for anybody, make sure you just write Sharing Without Shame on there. And when you do it, you're not only helping yourself and your family and the people you love, you're also helping Donna to do the magic that she does. And that's part of the mission, is to help as many people as we can. And it all comes down to that single expression: we are all in this together.
Yeah.
And that's it. We are one family, and we are here to help each other.
And it doesn't matter what it is. We're all connected, right?
We are all connected, and amazing, wonderful people come from every background, every place, every age, gender, income. It doesn't matter. We are all in this life together, and we're all here to help each other.
Yeah.
So that's what I would like to share.
Thank you. And I thank you so much. And we're going to wrap up, and I'll wrap up with this. So together, let's snap out the stigma that surrounds anxiety, addiction, and any other mental health issues. We'll do it together.
There we go.
One snap at a time.
One snap at a time. And with that, I say thank you, Donna, and thank you for having me. And God bless you for every single thing you do. You are such an inspiration and such a role model, and so uplifting for so many people.
Thank
you.
God and bless right back at you. Right back at you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you again.
Thank you for tuning in. If you'd like to support the Sharing Without Shame podcast, please subscribe, like, and leave a review. If you're in need of emotional support, Donna offers private sessions. For more information about Donna and the services she offers, visit www.sharingwithoutshame.com or email her at Donna4support@comcast.net. Nothing in the Sharing Without Shame podcast is intended to establish a therapist-patient relationship or intended to replace the services of a trained therapist, doctor, or health professional, or substitute for professional mental health, medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Until next time, may your faith and strength heal your heart.